Supergirl is now out and in theaters. And I went to go see it last night. I put up my out of theater reaction to it. So you guys who have seen that probably already know what I thought about the movie. We're going to review it here. And I am going to warn you in advance that while one of the most, how do I put this, lacking scripts that I've seen turn into a movie in a while, this movie doesn't have a lot of plot and there's not a lot to spoil, but I may be going into some spoiler stuff here. Believe me when I tell you, it really won't affect your viewing of the movie, but I do want to give you the heads up that this review will have some spoilers in it. So if you don't want to hear any, I'm not going to go, none of us here are going to go through beat by beat the movie, but I mean, there are going to be a couple spoilers in here. I do want to make you aware of that. And if you don't want to hear any spoilers at all, now's a good time for you to check out of the show. But I just did want to give you that kind of a heads up. So off I went to go see Supergirl. And like I did in my out of theater reaction, I will start off by saying the things I liked about it. The first thing I have to mention, I did touch on this in my out of theater reaction. I already thought Milly Alcock was a great casting for it when they announced her. I thought that even more so when I saw her at the end of Superman. And I believe it now more than ever. She's great for the character. She's a great choice for the character. I think, given better material, that as the DCU moves forward, if James Gunn doesn't leave, like I think he will, a lot of caveats there. She is an amazing casting. Not quite on the same level as David Cornsweet for Superman, but she is a perfect person to pick to play this character. Absolutely, that stood out to me the most. The next thing that I thought was really good about the movie is, again, even though he's not in a lot of it, David Cornsweet as Superman. Chris, you kind of alluded to this earlier, that every minute he's on screen in the movie, you just smile. Like, he is just so joyous as Superman that I couldn't help but grin every time he was on screen. Another thing I really quite liked about the movie was there's a little, as you see in the trailers, there's a bit of backstory to Kara's origin with the city of Argo and things like that from Krypton. And I thought the background stuff they did on Argo was really quite interesting. And I enjoyed that part. It only took up about, I don't know, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, about 6 minutes of screen time altogether.
Yeah, not that much.
Yeah, it didn't take up much of the screen time there. But that whole part of the movie, I thought was a winning formula. I thought that was done really quite well. And I'm pretty sure all the credits were spelled correctly. Yeah, that's the
Oh man.
that's the last positive I have to say about it. So there are pros. And as I said in my out of theater reaction, I think this movie is a little bit better than terrible. Like, I don't think the movie overall is completely terrible. It's not Morbius. It's not Madam Web. It's not Kraven the Hunter. It's better than all of those. But it is still decidedly a bad film to me. And you guys know I am not a DC hater. I am the opposite of a James Gunn hater. I have been cheering for this movie. I got a little apprehensive about it, admittedly, at CinemaCon when they gave us the presentation for it. And I was like, this doesn't look as good as I was hoping it would look. And that's when I got a little bit nervous about it. But I've been hoping for the best, believing the best, wanting this movie to be great. You guys know this. If you guys watch my show, you know I have been. But this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen made by a great director. Because make no mistake about it, Craig Gillespie is a great director. Whether you're talking about Lars and the Real Girl, or you're talking about the Academy Award nominated film I, Tonya, or you're talking about his great turn with Cruella, or you're talking about one of the most underappreciated films the last bunch of years called Dumb Money, he is a great director. Not every movie he's made is great, but this is one of the worst films I've seen done by a great director. I've seen a lot of worse movies, but by lesser directors. This movie, Chris, I don't know what you're going to think about this,
Mhm.
It felt incoherent. It felt disjointed.
Yes, I agree on that.
It felt like there was no flow to the
Yep.
story. One of the big things I said, and I've been really dying to ask somebody else who's seen the movie this. You guys know from the trailers that Krypto gets poisoned. And one of the big motivating things in the entire movie is that Kara's going to try to get the antidote to save Krypto. The problem was
I know what you're gonna
Krypto
say.
gets poisoned really early.
Before you see the connection.
Exactly. And then later in the movie, they do flashbacks to show the bond and the connection between
Big
Kara
mistake.
and
Yeah.
Krypto. Huge, juvenile, beginner level mistake. Like
Yeah.
they first, like, we're supposed to buy into, we're supposed to feel this when Krypto gets poisoned, right? But and I'm sure we do to a degree because we already know Krypto from Superman, but
Right.
Yeah.
they do that first and then later set up why it's so important to Kara and their bond. And it sort of, it robbed the movie of that big emotional hook because they didn't get us invested in their relationship before Krypto gets poisoned.
Yeah.
And to me, that was a bad thing. And I'll say this too. This movie, I will go down always remembering it as Craig Gillespie trying to do a bad James Gunn impersonation.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
I felt like he stepped in there and tried to impress James Gunn by making it very James
Yeah.
Gunn-like. And that was a mistake. And Daddy wasn't there anyway because he's off making Man of Tomorrow, which is something else I'll complain about in a second. And the music choices, I thought were terrible.
Yeah.
Like this
The needle drops are not good. It really makes you
No.
appreciate James Gunn and how he pulls it off.
And
He
can I
makes it look
ask a
so
question?
easy.
Let me ask this question, Chris. Why, in some dive bar in a far end of the galaxy, is a lounge singer singing classic 80s Earth songs?
No.
That is true.
I'm
I
like,
did-
what the hell is this?
That is so true.
It's so bad. And guys, I gave you the heads up, but these are the two little spoilers I'm going to give. One isn't important. One kind of is important, but okay. This is not a problem throughout the whole film, but it represents the small choices that were all wrong. At one point you see in the trailers, Clem of the Yellow Hills. Is it Clem? Cleft?
Creme.
Cletus?
Creme.
Yeah.
Fuck boy. That's what he is. So kneeling down in front of Kara and going, and this is a good line. This is a good line. This is the best line in the movie. Your eyes are beautiful when you cry. Much pain. It's a good line. That's a
It
good line. Only good line in the movie. That's a very good line. But in that, you see there's like the black lines in her neck, which is the common comic book visual of somebody being poisoned or whatever. I saw a lot of people online well before the movie came out guess that somehow she's in the presence of kryptonite.
Mm.
Okay, so this is a minor spoiler, but the thing that leads to that moment when he says, your eyes are beautiful and you cry, he shoots her with kryptonite darts.
That's mean.
Why does he have kryptonite darts?
Yeah, does
The way the universe is set up,
There's only
What?
2 Kryptonians out there.
that they don't even know about. And he goes, I've been saving these for you.
Yep,
What
he
the
said that.
fuck do you mean you've been saving? How does that make any sense
Yeah.
at all? And how
I-
did you just
yeah.
magically come up with kryptonite darts? And it was just so utterly preposterous.
Yeah.
And that leads, this is the big spoiler, guys, okay? This is the big spoiler. It's not going to surprise any of you. All of you guessed this at the ending anyway, but I'm just warning you, if you want to jump away now, jump away now. But Chris, and I refer to Chris Rock because I know you haven't seen Supergirl. You're seeing it tonight, correct?
Me?
Yeah, you're seeing Supergirl
Yeah, I'm
today.
seeing it in IMAX at 4. Thanks for the
Okay,
spoiler.
So I'm about to give you a big spoiler at the end here. So the whole thing is, Kara, Supergirl, keeps trying to convince Rufy, the little girl with the sword, that, no, you can't kill fuckboy Cletus because it'll ruin you. It'll ruin you for the rest of your life. You'll never get over it. It'll damage you and destroy who you are. And it'll be so terrible. No, you can't kill him.
he from Arkansas?
And then at the end, Supergirl, like Rufy's got the sword to him, and she goes, "No, no, no, you can't do it. It'll destroy who you are. It'll take away all your memories and you'll never have peace and blah blah blah. Just walk away, Rufy, walk away." So we know, okay, so Supergirl's gonna kill him. So sure enough, Supergirl kills him, right? But here's the part that kills me. After spending the movie verbal vomiting onto Rufy, "Oh no, this will destroy who you are. You'll never be happy. You'll never have peace." Throughout the whole movie of Supergirl, Supergirl is super troubled. She's discontented. She has no peace. She's just like her life. She's just a mess, right?
Sounds like she works at Hot Topic.
He just described everybody that works on that topic. But then Chris, she kills him at the end, right?
Yeah.
And then goes home to Earth and is talking with Superman. And she is the most at peace and content and happy, and now has her life together and now understands what she wants to do with her life as the result of killing the guy that she spent the whole movie telling Rufy, "Oh no, it'll destroy who you are," when killing him is what actually fixes all of her problems. It was so badly contrived, so badly executed. And again, the dialogue is horrible throughout the movie, other than "Your eyes are beautiful when you cry." That's a great line. I'll never take that away from it. It had all the hallmarks of a first-time screenwriter, at least a first-time screenwriter for a major motion picture. You shouldn't do first times on tentpoles. Lobo was good, but even with Lobo, they went a little bit too hammy at times. So I walked out very disappointed in the film. Very disappointed in the film. And look, I'm a DC fan. I am cheering for the DCU. I'm a big James Gunn supporter. But James Gunn has to decide whether he wants to direct movies or be the CEO of the company. Because here's a little fact. Rob, did you know that out of all the major sport leagues, NFL, NHL, NBL, NBA, not one in any of the leagues, not one team has a person who's both the coach and the general manager.
I did not know that.
There used to be, but they realized you can't, because you can't do both jobs properly. You got to pick a job, because both jobs are full-time jobs. And James Gunn's got to decide whether he wants to direct all of the DC stuff or whether he's going to be the CEO, because he can't do both. Anyway, Chris, that's me. I've gone on long enough about that. You've seen the movie yourself.
Yes.
You and I have not talked about this.
No.
What did you think of Supergirl?
I, like you, came out disappointed. I don't think this movie made me scared for the future of DC. I'm still super excited for Man of Tomorrow, and even like
Me too.
Milly Alcock, I think she's great in the role, and herself as the character, I want to see more of it. I'm excited what she'll do in Man of Tomorrow, because James Gunn's talked about he's already filmed some scenes with her, so that'll be cool. But this movie, it really came off so average to me. I'm not so much on you where I thought it was like awful or bad. I agree on your sentiment about a great director with a bad movie with Craig Gillespie. But it's in that middle ground where it's almost just as bad, as in it was just average. There's nothing that exciting to talk about, and equally not even that much really to really fixate on the negatives. It's just kind of flowing through the motions. And that, I think, was the biggest problem I had, is it's adapting great source material, but it's just
great source material.
But it's just doing the hitting the check marks of it. It's like, okay, this girl's family has to die. Okay, we did that. She has to meet Supergirl and go on the adventure. Okay, we did that. Like, you're right. The flow isn't there. The editing choices of where certain scenes come about just could have impacted more. I so agree on the arc with Supergirl and that finale. I have no problem with her killing the villain at the end.
Me neither.
That could work. But it did not work with the arc they were setting up, with what they were trying to convey with Ruthie. And to me, even with her backstory, they don't do enough to suggest why she would be so broken. Like, I get you lost your family and planet, but that line she says about, "I see the truth in people," no one in her life has wronged her. No one has.
That's a great point.
She didn't have like her own
Rob
creme or the Krypton. Like, I thought when because because they made it seem in the trailer like, you know, Krypton, that chunk is left, and then maybe the society collapsed in itself, and people started their true colors came out when like food ran low or something else. When you get the actual story, it's like it's no one's fault. Like there's nobody hurt you, nobody made you feel that way where you like build this wall and hate people. Like if anything, your family was great.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
were
like
loved.
where's this disdain for people coming from when even when she meets Clark, he's nothing but nice to her. So it's definitely there was some elements that I just felt like could have been better fleshed out, or is there more to it maybe that was left on the editing room floor? I don't know, but I agree with my disappointment. And man, James Gunn just no, I understand with him. He talks a big game about no, our scripts are finished. Our scripts are great. We're not doing it like Marvel. And I'm just like, oh, man, this is the same writer who's doing Wonder Woman. You know, I'm a little worried now.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that's going to change.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that. And you know, here's the other thing. With some comic book movies that are disappointing, quite often one of the positives we can fall back on is, okay, maybe overall the movie wasn't great, but you know, it had some really good action.
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl does not have good action.
Pretty generic and muddy.
Oh, that's a great word for it. Muddy. A lot of the action just felt muddy, poorly shot. There's a couple of moments in the movie that I appreciated that are like, I always appreciate this in superhero movies when there are these, and you know what I'm talking about, Rob, when there are these moments where what I call the superhero manifests. It's like where the superhero has a moment where it's like, oh God, everybody else here is totally screwed because now this hero is about to go full blown badass and kick everybody's asses. And there are a couple of those moments in Supergirl that got an emotional response out of me. And I felt pretty good, but just once the moment happens and they get into the action, it's like, this is some pretty lame action. And they should have had much better action for Lobo. They should have had much better things. And you know what other mistake they made? They've said Lobo's name once. If you're trying to establish this new character for a wider universe, they say his name once, like, oh, that's Lobo. And his name is never said again in the entire movie. So, yeah. Anyway, Rob, I hope we're not raining on your hope too much.
No, I just keep thinking that they should add fuckboy Cletus to the Jackass crew.
I think
there you go. His son can be putting all those metal things on his head.
Yeah, I mean, no, but look, this is what I find. Look, maybe the movie will make money. You know, maybe it'll make $500 million or something. But what I find sad about this and why I find the responses so disheartening is, to be honest, I expected a lot more from this movie. And I knew we were in trouble when they went through 3 composers. Now, I have no behind-the-scenes knowledge, but it seems to me that somebody lost confidence in this movie in the editorial phase. And I'm willing to bet, from what I understand, the Kryptonian sequence comes in the middle of the movie, right?
Yeah.
I'll bet that wasn't the case. I'll bet you that they decided to restructure the film because they looked at that when they had the Kryptonian sequence come up first. That probably was, they thought this is the strongest part of this movie. And because it gave you the backstory of Kara and all that, they're like, no, we'll use this and we'll restructure the whole movie and they'll put it in the middle of the movie. And by then everybody's second guessing what's supposed to be happening, and they probably lost confidence. And the fact that they had 3 different composers, I'll tell you why they had 3 different composers. They were trying to use the music to bridge what the movie lacked and create the emotional connection with the audience. And they were unsatisfied with that because 3 different composers, as everyone knows, is very unique. And I think the failure of this movie really disappoints me from a creative standpoint, because this should not have happened as their second film out of the gate. This movie should have ruled. There's no reason why this movie didn't kill.
I do want to touch on something that one of our viewers, Genghis, just wrote. He said, if this is the worst of the DCU, I think we'll be okay. I agree with that. Like, again, this is not, I don't want to come across as saying like, this is Madam Web level bad. It's not.
Yeah.
This is better than Madam Web, and it's better than Morbius, and it's better than Kraven Hunter. And if this is the worst they do, yes, the DCEU will be fine. But to your point, Rob, like, Superman was so good.
Superman
Was so good that it's just like, by comparison, it's like stepping out of a hot tub into an ice bath. It's like my expectations were much higher. It should have been better than this.
Yeah.
Especially when you got the casting right and you've got those elements there. And hey, listen, as bad as I think the movie is, or let me rephrase that, as disappointed as I am in the movie, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing more of David Cornsweet and Milly Alcock on screen together. I totally am.
Agree.
Like you said, Chris, I'm really looking forward to seeing Man of Tomorrow, and what with those characters interacting together. So there are some positives to glean out of it. It's just overall, this damn thing should have been better. Anyway, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance? I know there were screenings all over the country last night. Did you have a chance to see Supergirl already? If so, what did you think about it? And you know what, guys? The most beautiful thing about movies is the pure subjectivity of them. Just because I didn't like it doesn't mean you won't. And if you did enjoy it, I love hearing it. Write to me in the comments and let me know that you liked it and why you liked it. I would love to hear your point of view on it. Anyway, that will wrap that up. And guys, that'll do it for today's installment of the John Campea Show. We went a little bit overtime here. Thank you so much for being here and making our little show part of your day. A big special thank you to the thousands of you guys in the live chat, making this show a part of your day. We really appreciate it. Once again, no open super chats today because I am leaving right now to go to play in the World Series of Poker. So I got to do that. But don't worry, super chats will be returning. And by the way, guys, I'd be remiss if I didn't say as a tail end to that whole discussion about Supergirl that I'm still thinking Lanterns is going to be pretty awesome.
I'm excited for that. Very excited.
I'm still thinking Clayface is going to be awesome. So yeah. I'm still holding out for that, but we'll see where they go. Guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, Hims. You know, one of the hardest things about trying to lose weight is just figuring out what actually works, because we've seen them all. There are a million trends, diets, and gimmicks out there, and honestly, it can get overwhelming. And that's why weight loss by Hims really stands out. Hims now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill at its lowest price ever, and the Wegovy pen. With Wegovy at Hims, lose up to 20% or more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite and eat less, so success is within reach. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever and only GLP-1 available in a pill for weight loss, so there are no needles needed. And the process is extremely convenient. Everything happens online. You connect with a licensed provider who determines if treatment is right for you, and if prescribed, your medication gets delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/Campea to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/Campea. hims.com/Campea. Based on advertised cash price for 30-day supply of medication only. Membership required, fee not included, and billed separately. Weight loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk A.S. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit hims.com.